Here are the top 5 life-changing books that I've ever read. Let's get into it. The first one is called How to Become a 3% Man. This book was written by a YouTube creator called Corey Wayne, and he's more of a relationships coach and a life coach as well. He's a little bit less known and he's not very viral. So if you know who this guy is, you and I could definitely become really good friends. This book has taught me a lot about women, relationships, just absolutely everything that you need as a man in order to get out there in the dating world. I read this book back when I was 16. I was still in high school, and it absolutely changed the way that I experienced my high school years. So you should definitely check this book out. I promise you won't regret it. On to number 2, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. This book was written by a guy named Mark Manson, and although I don't know a lot about Mark, I know he has a YouTube channel and I've watched a couple of his videos. So he's a really cool guy and you should definitely check out his social experiments. The way that this book has helped me out personally is that it's helped me be able to stop giving a shit about what people think. Even making this YouTube video is hard. Doing absolutely anything in life is going to be hard, but people are going to hate you and they're going to love you whether you want them to or not. So might as well do what's important to you. Might as well do what you need to do in order to get ahead, and forget about what people say or what people are thinking. Just get on with it. That's pretty much the lesson I learned from the book, and that's why it's changed my life in many, many ways. And I definitely recommend you to check this one out as well. One of my top favorites. The third book on this list is called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, written by T. Harv Eker. I'm not really sure about the author. I don't know much about him, but what I do know is that this book is absolutely incredible and jam-packed with information. Some of the things that I learned from the book is that you have to change the relationship that you have with money. A lot of people think that in order to make $10,000 a month, for example, you have to just grind your ass off and you have to do things in a certain way in order to get there. But the main thing that you need to do in order to reach $10,000 a month, which is $120,000 a year, is become a person who is worth $100,000 a year. That is one of the most important lessons I learned from this book, and it has absolutely changed my life. On to number 4. This book is called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm sure you've heard a lot about this book. This book is very, very, very popularized. It's written by this author named Stephen Covey. Now, I haven't done much research on Stephen Covey either, but I think this book is one for the ages. This book is up there with Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book is definitely one of the basics that you want to read in order to develop a foundation getting into the self-help industry. But just because it's the foundation doesn't mean it's not one of the best. The way that I got to this book is because I had a mentor called David Williams. He's 90 years old at the moment and he's still alive and kicking. He does everything like an absolute maniac and he's a freaking killer at 90 years old. And he told me that he's read that book over 40 times in the span of his life. He gave it to me, and when I started reading it, I realized why. It's one of the best ways that you can live life. If you follow the 7 principles of highly effective people, you are sure to become a better person overall. And that brings me to my 5th and final book for today's video, which is called Reality Transurfing. It's a very, very tough book to get through, to be honest. It's not because it's uninteresting, but because it's so long. This book was like 800 to 1,000 pages, I think, and it was an absolute, it took me like 6 months to get through it, but I absolutely loved it and I learned a lot from it. To give you guys a little bit of sauce, the main things that you'll learn from the book is that we live in different parallel realities. There's different parallel universes. That's the theory that this book is based on. And it shows you how to hop between these parallel realities using energy, using your body, using your breathing, and doing things throughout your day that are going to help you shift from one reality to the next. It shows you a lot as well about how we act and why we act a certain way. And it has shown me a clearer way on how to walk the path to success. So there you go, guys. Those were my top 5 favorite books that I've ever read. Please check these out if you can. They're definitely some really good reads. If you're bored and you're watching TikTok or Instagram the whole day, might as well just pick up one of these books and get through them in 2 or 3 weeks. And trust me, you will not regret it. All these books are very great reads, and you will absolutely learn something from it. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.